Here's a statistic that might wake you up in the middle of the night. According to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth for American households under the age of 35 is less than $14,000. Let that number sink in for a second. $14,000. That is not your monthly income. That is not your emergency fund. That is your entire financial existence. That is the sum total of every dollar you have ever earned, saved, and invested, minus every dollar you owe to the banks. You have spent the last decade doing everything you were supposed to do. You went to college, you got the degree, you grind at your job 40 hours a week, you follow the rules, and yet the result of your life is a number that cannot even buy a decent used Honda Civic in this economy. If you are sitting there right now with less than $14,000 to your name, you are not just average. You are officially in the danger zone. You are walking a tightrope over a canyon with no safety net. One layoff, one medical bill, one transmission failure, and it is all over. But here's the part that really messes with your head. You look around at your friends and they seem to be doing great. They are driving brand new trucks that cost $70,000. They are posting photos from expensive vacations. They are buying houses. You feel like the only one falling behind. I am here to tell you that you are looking at a mirage. The average person under 35 is not wealthy. They are drowning in debt to finance a costume of wealth. They are trading their future freedom for a shiny present that is depreciating every single day. The math does not lie, and right now the math says an entire generation is one bad week away from total ruin. Today we are going to talk about exactly why this is happening and how to escape the danger zone before the ground crumbles beneath you. Why is this happening? How can an entire generation of working adults have a net worth that is barely enough to cover a few months of rent? It is because we have normalized a lifestyle that is mathematically impossible to sustain. Most people under 35 are falling into what I call the appearance trap. You see people on social media posting about their latest vacation or their brand new car, and you cannot help but wonder how they afford it all. The answer is they do not. They are financing a lifestyle they cannot afford to project an image of success they do not have. The biggest culprit here is the car payment. We have discussed the car trap before, but for this age group, it is lethal. You have people making $50,000 a year signing up for $700 or $900 monthly car payments. They are driving trucks that cost $70,000 because they think they need reliable transportation. But they are not buying transportation. They are buying an identity. They are buying the feeling of being successful. Meanwhile, that car is depreciating rapidly. As soon as you drive it off the lot, you lose 20% of the value. You are taking your limited wealth and setting it on fire. Then there are the micro leaks. The fast food that costs $20 a meal. The subscriptions that add up to $80 a month for television you do not watch. The new phone every year because the old one felt slow. We have accepted these things as normal expenses, but when your net worth is under $14,000, you do not have the luxury of normal. Normal is broke. Normal is living paycheck to paycheck. Normal is one bad car repair away from financial ruin. The system is designed to keep you in this cycle. Companies have figured out how to charge premium prices for garbage, and we keep paying it. We keep upgrading our phones and buying designer clothes with logos to impress people who do not care about us. We are trading our actual wealth for the appearance of wealth, and the result is a net worth that looks like a rounding error. Let us look at the numbers because the math does not care about your feelings. The math is brutal. The median earnings for a full-time worker are about $52,000 per year before taxes. After taxes, you are taking home maybe $40,000. That is your fuel. Now look at the expenses. The average household spends nearly $67,000 a year. Do the math. If you earn $52,000 but the average lifestyle costs $67,000, you are running a deficit every single month. This is why the credit card debt numbers are so high. The average household carries over $9,000 in credit card debt. This is not money spent on assets. This is money spent on survival and lifestyle. At 20% interest, you are paying nearly $2,000 a year just in interest. Now compare that to the $14,000 net worth. If you have $9,000 in credit card debt and a car loan of $30,000, you need $43,000 in assets just to break even. Most people do not have that. This $14,000 net worth number includes everything. It includes your car equity, which is likely zero or negative. It includes your checking account. It includes your retirement savings. Speaking of retirement savings, the numbers for people under 35 are terrifying. The median retirement balance for this group is less than $2,000. $2,000. You cannot compound $2,000 into a retirement. If you are 30 years old and you have $2,000 saved, you are mathematically on track to work until you are 75 or 80. We talked about the power of the first $20,000. Getting to that first milestone is the hardest part. It takes about 19 months of saving $1,000 a month to hit $20,000, assuming an 8% return. But if your net worth is stuck at $14,000, you haven't even started the engine yet. You are still pushing the boulder up the hill and it is rolling back over you. You are missing out on the compounding explosion that happens after you cross the threshold of security. Every year you stay in this danger zone is a year of freedom you are deleting from your future. The problem with having a net worth under $14,000 is not just financial. It is biological. When you have this little money, you are living in a permanent state of survival mode. Your brain chemistry actually changes. Neuroscientists have found that financial insecurity spikes cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone. When you are in survival mode, your cognitive bandwidth shrinks. You literally become less intelligent because your brain is consumed by low-level anxiety. You are lying awake at 3 in the morning worrying about a check engine light or a medical bill. You cannot think strategically. You cannot plan 5 years out. You are just trying to survive until next Friday. This leads to bad decision making. When you are in survival mode, you take the first job offer that comes along even if it underpays you. You are afraid to negotiate because you cannot afford to lose the offer. You stay in a toxic work environment because you do not have walking away money. You buy the expensive convenience food because you are too stressed to cook. You buy the new car because you need a win to feel better about yourself. It is a vicious cycle where being broke causes you to make decisions that keep you broke. But when you cross out of the danger zone, something shifts. We know that having just $2,000 in emergency savings increases financial well-being scores by 21%. When you hit $10,000 or $20,000, the cortisol drops. You start to see opportunities instead of threats. You sleep better. You negotiate harder. You walk differently. If you are under 35 and sitting on $14,000, you have not experienced this shift yet. You are playing the game on hard mode. You are trying to build a future while your brain is screaming that the house is on fire. You have to escape this zone, not just for your bank account, but for your mental health. So, how do you get out of the danger zone? You cannot just wish for more money. You need a protocol. First, you have to accept that you are in a financial emergency. A net worth of $14,000 at age 30 is an emergency. Treat it like one. Stop the bleeding immediately. Look at your car. If you have a payment over $500 and a net worth under $14,000, you are driving a car you cannot afford. Sell it, get a cheap point A to point B car. Free up that $700 a month. Stop the fake rich spending. No more $20 fast food meals. No more subscription services you do not watch. No more upgrading your phone when it still works. You need to build the fortress. We talked about the $20,000 milestone. That is your target. Forget about buying a house for a minute. Forget about crypto. Focus entirely on liquidity. You need to follow the order of operations. First, build a small emergency fund of $1,000 to stop the panic. Second, get your employer match because that is a 100% return. Third, attack high-interest debt with the avalanche method. Once the toxic debt is gone, you pour everything into building that liquid net worth. You need to get from $14,000 to $20,000 in liquid cash and investments. This is where the gap strategy comes in. You have to widen the gap between your income and your expenses. If you can save $1,000 a month, you will hit $20,000 in less than 2 years. That sounds like a long time, but remember the alternative. The alternative is staying in the danger zone forever. The alternative is waking up at 40 with the same net worth and less time. Once you hit $20,000, the compounding takes over. Your money starts making money. The second $20,000 only takes 17 months. The third takes even less. But you have to break escape velocity first. Here is the reality check. You might think you have time because you are young, but the statistics show that if you are behind now, you are likely to stay behind unless you make a radical change. The average retirement age is 61, but most people cannot collect full Social Security until 67. That is a 6-year gap of financial purgatory. If you arrive at that age with the median retirement savings of $88,000, you are looking at living on $300 a month. That is the path you are on if you stay in the danger zone. You are heading toward a retirement of poverty after 40 years of work. But you have a superpower right now. You are under 35. You still have time for compound interest to do the heavy lifting, but the window is closing. You have to make a choice. Do you want to look rich or be rich? You cannot do both right now. Looking rich means keeping the car payment and the designer clothes and the $14,000 net worth. Being rich means driving a beater, wearing unbranded clothes, and building a fortress of cash. When you have $20,000 in the bank, you become hard to kill. You have options. You can quit your job. You can start a business. You can sleep at night. $14,000 is not a safety net. It is a rounding error. It is one medical emergency away from zero. Do not let the average statistics comfort you. Being average in America today means being broke. Aim higher. Aim for freedom. Start today. Check your net worth. If it is under $14,000, declare war on your expenses. Sell the stuff you do not need. Pick up a side hustle. Do whatever it takes to get out of the danger zone. Your future self is begging you to take this seriously. Do not wait until you are 45 to realize you should have started today. The clock is ticking. Get to work.